they work in a dispatch center together, and they all know each other, and they all know who I am. And you know what's so funny is that, see, even though this keeps falling, Cryon says, Krista, remember what I told you before? Drink this stuff, and you're actually going to notice, you're going to notice something that they didn't really know about. So, you see, they seem to be watching, and for whatever reason, they're watching here, and they're actually waving, and they've actually getting their child to wave with them, which is really, really sadistic. Now, all I'm doing is I'm sitting out here making a video. All I'm doing is I'm saying, you know what, I'm going to outright document and protest attempting to harm me. So, because I am doing that, they are going out on their balconies and flashing me satanic symbols. I mean, if they think they're going to do this and not get away with it, they've got another thing coming. Another thing coming, meaning the entire world is going to know, because I was already told by the reptilian prison, how does it feel to be famous? Several people said to me, you are famous. So, if I am famous in an underground, I'm going to be famous in an overground too, if that's how this is going to be. Okay, Cryon says there. So he says, see how. He's telling me what to do. And to see how you drank that much. And now see how we're going to do something with it. See how someone just parked there, too. What will happen is, you see, they can see so many probabilities at once that the movements will be somewhat synchronized. Also, there. Now, some of this, I know, is a little bit extreme, but when you have got yourself into a situation somehow where you stop nuclear war, there's a plane. Okay, that's a jet right there. Check that out. That's a jet. See that? See that right there, guys? That is a jet. That is not a commercial plane. That's a jet. What the heck is a jet doing flying over San Ramon, California? Okay, now I feel stress on my liver. See, Cryon said, yeah, be careful with this. I want you to drink some of it, and then now we're going to put it away. This is part of how he helped me survive. Because, you see, this is what you need to remember. Think of the movie Hannah, where she gets told, adapt or die. Adapt or die. And humans are incredibly adaptable creatures, because we can adapt so well. And also, if any of you were looking, you might not have seen this, because I didn't want to just shine a camera at a little 4-year-old, you know, that's a little bit... Even if a 4-year-old is trying to, you know, slowly kill you somehow, that, I think, no matter what species they are, is a little bit too much. So you could hear what I was saying to the child. And whether or not you could hear what the child was saying back, what the child was actually saying back was, the parent came over and tried to ask the child, are you okay? And the child was saying, yes, I'm okay. But they were also thinking to themselves. They were really thinking to themselves. They were doing as they were told, but they were hearing me in just the slightest way. Cryon said, you're going to see this. You're going to see this in front of you, no matter what gets done to you. So see here, if your phone gets a half shattered like this, who cares? Anybody that knows will know that I prefer this phone way more. Or anybody who's paying attention will know that I prefer this phone way more. And say they break my phone, then I'll just have to go over to their houses and fuck with them. And I'll have to say, oh, hey guys, you know, it looks like, you know, you guys have screwed around with my phone, so it looks like I'm going to have to use yours. And you see, when you are using the love light energy, Cryon says, now you know what gave them power this morning? You know what happened that gave them power, but but that power is not going to continue. It will not prevail. Yeah, guys, I decided to go ahead and put some makeup on, because see here, the police department was totally fucking with me so that they could get the opening for that kid to break my phone. And we're gonna watch me as I put on some lipstick, because the police think they can fuck with me. Well, they're going to have on their cameras a girl who looked really, really hot, if they're gonna fuck with me. Oh, no pun intended. Because you see, yeah, the police actually engage in that astrally. Those of them that are reptilian or human with astral capabilities will harass normal citizens. You don't have to be doing anything wrong. They will simply start harassing you, and then what they will do is attempt to push you. That is, mentally push you, mentally influence you somehow, using HAARP technology and those planes that I was filming, to cause you to do things that would be considered against the law, or things that might warrant getting the police involved to make you feel guilty about it. This is something that I'm going to link to this on this video because I found it, and what these people like me are called, we're called targets, apparently, and the people who are called perps are the ones who are involved with doing a lot of it. So we've got downstairs, and Krista says, not Krista, actually, well, you could say Krista says, but it's Cryon. Our names sound kind of the same. Cryon says, don't worry, Krista, you're holding this phone, but they're not going to be able to touch this phone. They are not going to be able to touch what you're using to record them with. Sure, it's like you know full well that if your phone stopped working, if you couldn't call anybody, it wouldn't matter, because that would mean that you would be harassing all of the neighbors, saying, oh, harassing meaning, excuse me, it appears that my phone is broken. I'm going to have to use yours. And things like that. So he says they know better than to actually break your phone. They're just trying to mess around with you. Now, always when I walk outside, there is someone who is strategically doing nothing, who simply comes out. Notice how I walked inside to outside, and right as I walk outside, oh bam, there's somebody walking there. Now, we're going to actually prove this a little bit more. We're going to prove this with keys, even though if you've been astrally harassed, you'll know that keys only make a slight difference. It makes a difference for the entities that are lower down on the pyramid that can't get through a locked door, but it doesn't make a difference to the entities who are higher up on the pyramid, who basically, who can get through what you would consider locking a door. And also, I mean, I know that when my house was wiretapped, bugged, whatever they've done to it, that illegally, completely illegally, that it was done when the doors were locked, and people actually somehow did something, came in somehow. Now notice what I'm wearing. WWJD. What would Jesus do? Now, Jesus would not exactly scream and curse at people, no, but he would, no, again, see, she looked away as soon as doing this, now looking at me. Now, kids, I have to make it point blank clear to you guys, kids, especially, like I said, kids of Indian descent, which is sad. When I was viewing the NSA office, almost all of them were of Indian descent. A lot of them were. Then there were some of the super soldier bred types. And now we see, okay, what's happening here? So-and-so who was doing nothing gets out of the car, okay? And then when you ask them, what are you doing? They say stuff like that we're working, but they'll say that it's a Saturday. They'll say that on days where it's impossible for them to be working, or they'll say it at a time where it's impossible for them to be working, or I've had some of the immigrants say, I don't know what I'm doing. Actually say, I don't know what I'm doing. So this is Reflections. This complex is called Reflections in San Ramon, California. Reflections Drive. Now, who else do we have again on a bike with sunglasses? Notice all the people with the sunglasses, and yeah, notice how they will actually wave, because they know who I am, and they know that I refuse to allow them to conduct bullshit and assassinations where I am, and they have to outright watch it. So, we're going to walk around while there's still daylight, and I knew I would be making a video today, but I did not know. See another person there, they're standing there, they're kind of doing nothing. I did not know that it would be outright about documenting what was happening to me. Who else do we have? This person was actually looking in my direction and is doing so in like as if they're making fun of me in some way. Now see, they're smiling, they're like they're doing so in a kind of taunting fashion. And also, yet again, I'm going to say this, of Indian descent. I don't know what it is about the people that are of Indian descent getting screwed over like this. Also Asian Chinese and Indian descent. For some reason, it's as if these people are very easy to hack into their personal system or matrix, and they just end up performing mindlessly. Okay, Cryon says the reason that they were tempted like they were is because they see the white people like you, Krista, and see how you were so privileged. That is true. So I'm asking Cryon, so what do we do about that? So, say if I was a poor Mexican immigrant, or a poor Indian immigrant, or a Chinese immigrant who wanted to be successful. Let's say that in my sleep I was attacked, and that I was told that, oh, if you do this for us, you know, you'll be able to rule the United States, and you won't be looked down upon as some sort of minority. Well, the irony with me, I did not ever see anybody as minorities or not minorities. I grew up in a state of mind just like an Arcturian does, which is that of non-racism, that of no racism existing. But when your parents are racist, when they act like Nazis, when your parents actually act like Nazis and try to train you into being a Nazi, and then you say back to them, no way, I'm not going to be a Nazi, even though I am German, I'm not going to be a Nazi, how dare you even try to do that, how dare you disgrace our grandfather who fought in World War II, how dare you do all these things, then, well, that's when they try and assassinate you, it seems. But, for most of the light workers, that I've noticed a lot of them in California, that a lot of us are white, and this is just something that I am noticing from a statistical perspective, and I find it unfortunate. I mean, I really find it unfortunate that most of us who are holding out are white. It seems like a kind of racism that you can't get around because it's genetic somehow. But so you see, that's where I kept talking about in the video about, you know, winning against reptilians and greys. At the very end, the part 4, I talk about this for the yell. You are not your body, meaning you are not your biology, you are not the memories in your biology, which might tell you the Germans acted like Nazis. You are not your biology, which says Darth Vader, or whatever. You are not the implants in your head. You are not the implants in your foot. You're not the implants in the bridge of your nose. You're not any of that. You are a soul, a sovereign soul, a sovereign entity. Now where we are, we passed a little ways. There's a large street over there, but we've gone into what is now called the Bridges complex. And see, I can take us on a walk, a little bit, of how I, basically, when I was being attacked, I said, you guys, I notice a lot of you are Italian. That's the mafia, right? Now I've got family on the East Coast. I understand the concept of a sit-down. You guys want to have a sit-down? And they actually, I didn't know that they were agreeing to it, but they did it to me. Where I walking in this direction, which is where my parents live, where they filed a restraining order against me because I went there at 3:30 in the morning, because what's 3 o'clock in the morning? If any of you watch the old show Paranormal State, you will know that 3 a.m. is dead time. So, that's when all the weird stuff's going on. So, I was thinking, shit, All of this stuff is happening to me at the middle of 3 a.m. in the morning. This is ridiculous, and I am going to my house to say, you open the frickin' door and give me my stuff back. And, well, what'd they do? They filed a restraining order. So, we're going to actually look in where I grew up, 760 Winterside Circle, San Ramon, California, and the people who live in that house, with the exception of my brother, are Satanists and are attempting to assassinate me. And we're going to take video of it right now. You can see the car. That car belongs to my stepfather. He was the original orchestrator of all of this. It seemed like after my mother escaped, but my mother was born with the scoliosis, with the curved back, I think for a period of time. See the white car over there? That is 760 Winterside Circle. San Ramon, California, 94583. And that is where the main attack is coming from. And notice that I am literally walking to and fro. Now, it's kind of hard to put a restraining order against, like, your kid that you cooped up in a house, like, within 100 yards, which is what it says, 100 yards. But if you literally live within 100 yards, also, remember, anybody who's watching this and who likes what I'm talking about, or who likes the fact that I'm fighting back, what you guys need to understand is that this house is in the name of Catherine Hauer and Jerry Kihara. Catherine Hauer is the name of my mother. My name is Krista Elizabeth Hauer. Her name is Catherine Louise Hauer. Jerry Kihara is my stepfather, and he was the one who actually filed the restraining order because he has been a piece of shit ever since he married into my family. What we didn't know is that he was a spy the entire time. He became my mother's handler after she divorced my father. But she didn't understand any of this, believe any of this. And in some strange twisted plot, there we've got another random person carrying, they'll be carrying large briefcase type items. Like, notice that they'll often be carrying these large briefcase type items that seem to emit either a kind of radiation, or it's as if they suck energy. That's what they seem to do. They appear to suck energy. Now, what one man said to me on the Muni bus in San Francisco, he sat behind me, and he said, "Oh, I'm being greedy today." It was a British guy, or Australian. "Oh, I'm being greedy today. I've got all of my stuff." And he was talking to the person next to him, and it was very clear that they were talking about me. What they will do is they will repeat your thoughts. This is just like the interview which I found, and I'm going to get a hold of you guys. I'm going to get a hold of that girl. And if she does not know, you create your own reality and you can deflect these attacks. Not only that, you can go straight up to the people doing it and say, "In the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, you will stop." You can also go straight up to them and you can say, "In the name of the law of attraction of similar frequencies, you're going to die." Why? Because it's true. It's flat out true. I've said to these people, and I will say it on this camera, you do not understand that what you are doing. Now, one phrase they understand is "I don't know." So I'll constantly have to rephrase what I'm saying in a positive so that they don't hear the word "not." Because if I say if I say you are all going to die, that's understandable. But see, they have to understand that I'm not the one killing them. And when I say I'm not killing you, they take that to mean I'm killing you. So, you see, you have to try and say this in a different fashion. What you say is, you see, because of the law of attraction, this is just what Jesus says, what you are measuring out is measured back. So, this guy, what's he doing behind me, huh? What you measure out to you is measured back. Now, what I did was pray for peace and stop nuclear war. Okay, but what that was an act of love, an act of such great courage, an act that the next day had me almost dead. What would have been, everyone seeing the different shows about, oh, it's August 21st, nothing happened, because of me. And on that day, August 21st, I almost died. I almost died multiple times. After that day, And still up until this day, I keep having to fight for my life practically every single day. But Kryon says, don't worry, the tide will turn. And he says, don't worry about what you feel in your body right now, because that's part of the trick. Again, like what Arcturians say is, we false flag very well. So, what they won't tell me what they're doing right now. But remember what I told. All they'll say is, "See, Krista, remember what we told you about how we are using their bone breaking techniques to crystallize your body." They will use these things. Okay, another person, same guy possibly, with sunglasses on their bike again. You see, it's like you're doing nothing. All they will do. I will actually watch this out the window too. They will walk around and follow me inside of the complex when I walk around. Or when I actually attempt to go out anywhere, they will follow me. So, word to all of you. That includes every single one of you. And if you think you can fool me with your children, you have failed. So, remember, if you raise your children in the ways of Satan, in the ways of the darkness, you are killing your own child. You are killing your child by raising them in the ways of the darkness, by raising them as slaves, by raising them to attempt to become assassins, by raising them to commit horrible acts of atrocities that you would think only happen in a concentration camp, but no, they are happening right in your backyard, right in your front yard, right in your house, just like The Walking Dead. And what are we going to do? Yeah, you? What are we going to do? We fight back. But we fight back with our minds. And we fight back in a way that's not fighting. You see, we fight back in a way that is changing the situation. So what I'm doing here, what I did do to one guy is, remember I told you on the video I was going to throw something in somebody's face the next time they tried to screw around with me? Well, I took the guy's kombucha and threw it in his face like a pissed off girl throwing champagne in a man's face. Because, excuse me, you dare think that you can mess around with me? Well, I told you all, if you weren't paying attention, that the next time you do this, I will throw something in your face. Oh, look, I did it. Oh, wow, did we not think that was actually going to happen? Oh, look, we're stupid. Now, who do we have here? We have the person whoever is in this place. Is this the dog groomer? No, it's not, but it looks kind of like the dog. Sorry, you have a car that looks like one of my dog groomer vans.
Oh, that's funny.
I know that's funny. See, when I said the dog groomer, see, they refer to themselves as dogs, and it's because they are like dogs on leashes. And see, that would be for the dog trash can right there. They refer to themselves as like dogs on leashes. Now, the ones that are complicit, I know it's hard to think of this. See how she said, the ones who are complicit with this kind of stuff actually, and also we're going to film these, the numbers of these apartments. We're going to get both the numbers of these apartments. They refer to themselves as dogs, and we're going to identify exactly where these people live and their so okay. Reflections Drive. Okay, we've got number, looks like 27 and 17. So that adds to 8, which would be our favorite satanic number, 8. And 7, 8, 9, 9 for completion. So we've got 8 and 9. We've got Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Oh, hey guys. Tweedledee and Tweedledum, who live right here. Those people harassing me, hello. And the people who are harassing me upstairs. Let's go visit them. 27 and 17. And yeah, we're yeah, you are flat out being called out for harassing an innocent citizen.
You're crazy.
So,
go get some help. Actually,
if you guys were listening to the video, you would have seen how those people were trying to make satanic symbols at me. You just heard how one of them said, eh. You just heard how all this stuff was happening. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and we're going to show you the door of the people upstairs. Now, those people, remember that man. You know that man from a video. Why? He had the little boy who he told to go out and break that girl's phone. But the little boy knows, the phone didn't break because I didn't do it right, Daddy. The phone didn't break because there was an angel there that stopped it. The angel said no. Now, here's our other place. Now, these people are the women cackling. These people, it appears, have at least 2 or 3 children and are using them as slaves. Below me, number 27, now one of their best defenses is to say, go get some help. Excuse me, you dare send your child out as a slave? You're the one who needs some help, bucko. Now, all of this stuff, let's walk through all this. All of this stuff. Now remember, Halloween is All Hallows Eve. It is a satanic holiday. That was something that I had heard about as a little kid, but I didn't really totally know about. And so, you see, we are going to basically walk around as we experience these things. Now, that's what I've been told is the best thing to do about this. Now, see, who do we have here? The best thing to do is to outright go out and record them. And if the files get deleted, do it over again, and do it over again, and do it over again. Notice how the guy said, right there, guy with the red shirt said, oh, that's funny, that I said that looks like a van that a dog groomer had. You see, that's because they're trying to constantly refer to me as a dog. They try to demoralize you. And you see, it makes them pretty pissed off because they can't. They know that I am no dog. They know that, oh good, are you the police officer that I've been waiting for, sir?
I've got about 3 minutes of my time. What's going on?
Well, excuse me, sir. I have had actually actively, what is going on is
Show me the video. Show me the video. Okay,
Okay, we're going to pause the video here because of these things.